Every new and full moon, I take you into nature to spend some peaceful time close to the elements, where I tap into some advice for you using the timeless wisdom of tarot cards, which I hope helps you in your everyday. Today's readings come from a Capricorn new moon, when the days begin to lengthen in the northern hemisphere. Where I am in Western Canada, you can't always rely on getting sun in winter. But if you need some light to reach your pineal gland, you can just go outside and stare at some snow. Pick your reading now, then listen on while I tell you about a new Lenormand Card video series that will start next week, designed to help you stick to any new and full moon intentions you make during these tarot readings. Modern life lacks rituals tied to nature, but many of us still get a thrill when we take time to pay attention to and celebrate nature's awe-inspiring cycles. Sunrises, sunsets, the longest day of the year, and the shortest. Today's readings celebrate the new moon in Capricorn, a time when sunlight begins to return to the northern hemisphere. A time when many of us think about fresh starts. But how do we nurture fresh starts, all the way through to completion? I say tie it to the moon. Then you'll never be without a touchstone for your journey. It provides time and meaning, all wrapped up into one big shining globe that you can find most every night. You even get a bonus of lungs full of fresh air for the few sweet moments it takes to go outside to find it and see what phase it's in. The schedule of my tarot readings hopes to help you do just that. Today is a new moon, perfect for beginning. Listen to your reading, think about what you want, set one intention, and I'll see you here in 1 week to check in with how it's going, using Lenormand cards. I'll tell you all about them when I see you next. Until then, enjoy your readings. Come go, whatever you please, son. Hello, Pile 1, and welcome to your reading. The first thing that comes to mind is that you make your own luck. So I'm going to start by reading the theme of your reading from the Oracle card, and you got Earth Element Stability. There's a quote: "Every moment and every event of every man's life on Earth plants something in his soul." Thomas Merton, in The New Seeds of Contemplation. Now's the time to draw upon your strength. Think of yourself as solid and sure as a rooted tree. You are firm. Nothing can knock you out of your spot. Wow. So I'm getting quite the interesting story out of this reading. I think you guys are dealing with some drama. I'm sensing it's most likely in a workplace, and you are the solid rock in the middle of all of this. So in the middle of your reading, I see 3 cards: Justice, the 2 of Swords, it's crossed by the Wheel of Fortune, and then the foundational card of it all is the Devil card. And I see people arguing. It's particularly 2 people, and it looks like you're the third and you're the mediator. They're arguing in both of the central cards. There's a car accident. There's a car wheel trying to speed away in the Wheel of Fortune. There's the devil driving in a car, holding up money. There's money scattered everywhere through this. There's bill notices. There's people arguing over what it's going to cost from the accident. There's the devil holding up money while he blows it on champagne and a good time. I don't know. I'm getting some real workplace drama out of this. So for some of you, I think you're mediating workplace drama. For other people, you're mediating it in whichever community in which you're an authority in that community. Some people made some big mistakes. It's leading to some real consequences, and they just want to put the blame on somebody else. And you're not having any of it. And you are solid as a rock. And I want to say I'm sorry this is happening to you. I can tell that this is like a rotten core in an otherwise beautiful, shiny red apple of a life that you have going on. I think you're pissed. I think you don't want to be spending your energy on this. I see a real division between your work life and your personal life, and I think that's a great thing. And it looks like in your personal life, I see beautiful friendships and celebrations and events and things you get invited to and people who just support you. Then there isn't drama, and actually you look like you are solid. Like from this reading on this Capricorn new moon, you are the earth. You have the power of the earth to draw upon. You are a centered and grounded person. But I understand that you may not feel like that. I feel like your nervous system is taking a shot from the drama of what's going on around you. I see the Tower card outside of you. Things are falling down, but in this case, I see you as the person on the phone, already making the calls, already dealing with the drama. I feel like your nervous system is taking a beating just because you are dealing with it. You are the grounded one. It's kind of like, given your position in this community or in this workplace, you don't have a choice. You're the one who fixes things. I don't think you're overstepping your bounds. There are other readings where I would tell someone that they need to stay more on their side of the street. I think you're just showing up to your position. This is what you're paid to do, or this is what you have the skills for in your community. And in some ways, what you need to do to fix this drama, you just know. You know what you got to do. It's a list. You're getting it done. You're just drained by the people who aren't acting like adults in the situation. You know, there are other readings I give that show that this is a darker period in your life or this is some big lesson. Honestly, I think this is a passing shitstorm. I hate to say it. You are just going to make your way through it and you're going to come out golden on the other side. I see you as the King of Coins at the end of this reading, standing in a bright, sunny field, and the sun, which has been deciding to come and go all day, just decided to come out as I was saying that. You just need to hunker down. You need to not be drawn into these people's drama. You need to rely on your skills. You need to trust yourself. And actually, you need to go spend some time with the not drama people. You need to get away from work. You need to get away from the work of this community that you're in. And you need to just regulate your nervous system a little bit at home, and you need to just be around the cool people in your life doing the fun things. So there is one other message in here, because I see you coming out golden on the other side, and I think I see that whether you stay where you are or whether you decide to jump ship in some way. There is a whisper in this reading that I think this drama is lighting up a new idea in you, or these are wands cards, so it's more energy, motivation, desire than a thought. This is something coming from the core essence of you. You kind of want to get out of there. And it doesn't look rash. I don't think you're going to make a rash decision. It doesn't look like it has to be fast. I don't think this is a have to, but it could happen fast. I'm definitely getting that feeling. You have the King of Wands, and in this card, I love him. He's blind, running a race, and he's got an entire community supporting him behind him. So he is moving ahead blind, but not foolishly. So I don't think this is a wrong impulse. I think you need to nurture this impulse and really give it some thought, because I think whether you stay or jump ship, you are going to end up as the King of Coins at the end of this. You may even get some kind of raise in salary, some kind of situation that feeds your life better in some way. And actually, it could also be a more long-standing situation, because the King of Coins, Earth is slow moving, and he's at the end of the suit. He's the top of the suit. And that king doesn't make rash decisions. That king builds slowly his skills, his career, his legacy over time. And it's ending as your last card. So I think that just find ways to soothe yourself. You are going to weather this storm that is not yours. I actually don't want you to spend more energy on these people than you have to. You're not there to educate them. You are not there to listen to their drama. You are not there to actually really mediate, although part of your job might be doing that. I would like you to minimize that as much as possible. You're just going to be as professional as possible through this situation. You're going to check off your list, get done what you know needs to get done. You're not going to do more than that. You're going to stay in your pay grade. They don't deserve any more of your life energy. You're going to soothe yourself. You're going to be with good friends. You're going to think about jumping ship. Well, that's interesting. My throat caught as I said that. You don't need to be afraid. It's a very wide open field right now. I see the Ace of Wands, which is the lady with the blank canvas in this deck. This doesn't have to happen now, but it could happen. I think if you open yourself to it, the opportunity is going to come. It could come quicker than you think. It could come quicker than you're ready for. But it's going to be a good opportunity. It could be a lasting opportunity. And I really want you to open yourself to it. So think it over in the next 2 weeks. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. I have a bit of a love story to tell you today. So I'll start by reading one random line out of the text for your oracle card, which will help speak to the theme of some of this reading. So you received Black Moon Lilith, Mystery. This card indicates a call to wildness, even subversion. Lilith is the evocation of what may or may not be there. She can manifest as madness or self-realization. So at the core of this reading, I see a sexy invitation for you. I think you've met someone or something. I'm going to go with someone. I mean, it could be a new passion. Yeah, actually, for some of you, it could be a new passion. For others of you, it's definitely a sexy new someone who you're very drawn to, who's very drawn to you, who is making it very clear that they're interested. And I'm not sure you're having any of it. I think you might be feeling a little bit of paralysis, and there's some complicated reasons for that. I think on the surface, you're very focused on your work. You're very focused on what you do in the days. And you are very good at it. And I could see how your work could take a lot of your time and attention. So that's a really easy reason to not say yes to this wild invitation. And the wild invitation comes to me because I see a combination of the Knight of Cups with the Knight of Wands. Now, these cards can represent many, many things, but in that combination, it's a pretty strong pointing to a sexy invitation. And what I see crossing you, what I see stopping you, is the Ten of Swords. You had a heartbreaking experience. You had a heartbreaking end likely romantic, and there was heartbreak and pain, and it shattered something, and you're afraid to feel that wild again. But I have some advice about that. Because for many of us, the first really passionate romantic love that we experience is very intense. And many of those liaisons end when we're young, and those endings are painful. They're new, they're shocking. We don't have the experience to deal with them. We patch up the best we can. And it can happen more than once. I'm not sure that it was once. I think there might be a history here where you aren't trusting yourself, you aren't trusting the situation, and you aren't trusting life. And I think that you've built a very safe day-to-day life. And I don't say safe in a bad way. You know, people in war zones deserve safe, secure lives that make them, that give them the things that they need, that allow them to experience peace. And that's what I think I feel. Like, you're living some very deserved peace that you've really worked hard for in your day-to-day life, your work life outside of love and romance. And now, love and romance is sneaking up on you. And you said to yourself, I'm taking a sabbatical. I see the Four of Swords at the top of your reading, which is your hag self, your highest self, your wise self. You've been in a very wise place. And actually, normally, I really focus on my advice from that position of the reading, from the hag self, as I call it. And it would seem that it's really wise to take the sabbatical from really wild, passionate love and romance. And yet, I'm feeling a tension again between the top of the reading and the bottom of the reading. And the bottom of the reading is the foundation of this situation, why it's coming up for you in your life. And here I see the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands has a hiker pointing to the highest peak and leading other people while raptors soar above it. There's a call in your soul. There's a reason this invitation showed up in your life. There's a piece of you that really wants it. That piece of you that dared to dream and dared to follow a dangerous feeling passion way back in the day, that person doesn't go anywhere. They just kind of grow up and become more adult. But you have that covered. So here's where the new advice comes in, because I'm not telling you just go be wild and free and step off and be foolish with whoever comes your way who seems a little sexy. Like, you're not that person anymore. You have experience. You're entering into this with experience. Because I did pull an additional card to ask about this person to make sure that this invitation that you're getting, this very delicious seeming invitation from someone or some situation, whether it was good, whether you should welcome it into your life, and I think you should. I don't know that it's a lasting situation. I think it's a spark. But I think it's an important beginning, because along with the core of your reading, I also see the Magician, which is a major arcana card. Major arcana cards hold big weight, and they point to bigger lessons and phases in our life. And the Magician is a big beginning. The Magician says you have everything you need to jump into this situation and thrive, to be inspired by it. I see inspiration. I see it healing some past hurts that have been stuck. I don't see it as the be-all and end-all, and I don't see, now when I say romance, I'm not seeing like a committed long-term relationship with someone. I'm seeing someone who's pulling you back to life, who's revving you up, who's giving you energy, who's giving you attention, who's making you remember the sexiness inside. And as Esther Perel says, I mean, the erotic is not just sex. It's about a gusto for life. And I think you really want that. And I'm not saying you're dead and someone needs to bring you back to life. You actually have a really beautiful life going. But this is some sparkle. And why not have some sparkle while you're at it? So I think you should say yes. I say don't abandon yourself, don't abandon your instincts. In fact, you can do this really quietly, and I see cards that say that you might just take things slow. Your first foray with this person or into this invite, into this situation, it looks like it might be public. I see the 3 of Coins. I'm not even sure if this person is coming through your workplace potentially, or this invitation, but I think you should go out on the town with them in some way with other people present. Like, you don't have to make it a really serious date, but get out there with them. Say yes to more invitations. Do it in a way that keeps the calm and peace in your life, but don't say no. Hello, pile number 3, and welcome to your reading. And I want to say, I feel the most awkward energy with this reading. I've been trying to set myself up to be under this beautiful fir tree, which is just like this luscious green. And I'm having such trouble finding the angle I want. And actually what's weird is I feel like crouching for this reading. I don't feel like sitting comfortably and relaxing. I don't feel like standing up. I feel like being in this weird half crouch. And what's strange is when I look at your reading, what's interesting and magical is when I look at this reading, that's the exact energy I feel. I keep hearing, do I stay or do I go? I don't always hear music, so I'm hearing it as music. Do I stay or do I go? Okay. My answer is go. Now, does my answer go more than stay? Probably. But you're watching this channel, and there's a piece of you that's really ready to go. And not only that, but this is a brief moment, and you should catch that wave and ride it. It's not going to stick around forever, and you're going to be disappointed if you don't catch this wave. I just jumped to the end of your reading. I'm feeling this incredible urgency to tell you this message. Whenever you see this, there is something in your life that you need to catch. And the only thing holding you back is some stuff that's way in your past. It's real stuff. It's stuff that happened to you. It's stuff that shaped you. You've, developed some very good coping mechanisms to help you along your way, given that's the negative sort of energy you came from. But now is not the moment. Sometimes I tell people, get therapy, think about this, listen to podcasts. I can give very concrete homework about dealing with what I call as a samskara. It's a word that basically means an energy knot that you developed when you had a difficult, painful experience, and instead of feeling it and processing it and moving on, you kind of bury it in you, and then circumstances in your present life kind of wring that knot, that energetic knot, and it comes back, and it's little t trauma. It's like you're right back there again, and you make decisions from that place when you shouldn't be, because that stuff is not happening to you right now. I think you have more freedom to jump on this opportunity and move than you think. I think I'm going to awkwardly crouch down through this reading, but I feel like a racer, on the blocks, ready to go. I think you have your head down, and I think you're plodding from day to day because out of necessity, but also I think out of this idea that there's feast or famine, and that you have to do it this way, that you have to grind it out. And now sometimes that's true, and it has been true recently for you, and you've done it, you've done your job. I see, right in the heart of your reading, I see the 2 of Coins, which in this deck is a waiter. Waiters work damn hard. This waiter is balancing 2 dishes for all these people with more money than them, and they're doing it with, what do I want? They're doing it with panache. Like, you've been putting your all into some very menial work. I see the clarifying card I picked at the end of your reading is the Eight of Cups. It's this person who has this dreamscape outside their window, and fairies are opening the window for them to go out into the shining night with screech owls and mystery and magic, and they're head down scrubbing other people's dirty dishes. And that was clarifying the Nine of Blades, which is a worry card. And the Nine of Blades or Swords, it's a worry that you're doing to yourself, that the universe isn't doing to you, you're doing to yourself. So let's talk about what's been holding you back in the past. I see Four of Coins, I see Five of Coins. You've had lack. You've had to do it yourself, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and make money. Money is all over this reading. Two of Coins, Four of Coins, Five of Coins. And in your wise self, the top of the reading, your hag self, you have the Ten of Coins. Money is really important for everybody, but in your story, you're meant to go and find stable money. You're meant to do it actually in a way by being an authority in whatever it is that you're doing in order to make that money. I see the Hierophant card, which is a card of higher education. It's a card of knowledge. See, crouching is starting to get to me, but I want it to get to you too. I want this reading to be uncomfortable, and I want you to snap forward and take that opportunity. So I see the Ten of Coins, I see the Hierophant. I think that you've been working towards some kind of expertise. You make money from this expertise, but you've hit a plateau and you need to move on in some way. Now, there's some kind of fleeting opportunity, and I'm not sure what it is, because the theme card for your reading is the 9th house in astrology. And it says faith on it. The 9th house is a house of long distance travel, higher education, learning things from and about other cultures. So I can't tell if it's that you need to go back to school in some way, you need to get another certificate, and that's your opportunity. I think that's one of them. I'm not sure that it's like a really long course. It could just be, I'm feeling like it's like an 8-week thing, 12-week thing. It's some kind of certificate that's really worth the money, and you may have to travel in order to take that course. That's one possibility here. It could also be that you should be moving in some way, some location as well. But this is stuff that doesn't scare you. It actually really excites you, and it brings you a lot of joy. Whatever this big step is, you have to leave some stuff behind in order to do it. And it might only be for 3 months, but it could be longer, and it could be a more permanent change. And you have to be the Fool of the tarot in order to make this change. You got the Fool card outside of you, but Fool cards are big opportunities. And I don't see any other cards that are saying that you're being foolish. It's saying that you're being an apprentice. You're taking a step where there are some uncertainties. You've never done this before. There are no guarantees. Let's put it that way. There are no guarantees if you take the certificate, move locations, maybe even change work locations. Like, I think that you might be teaching something in some way, and perhaps you need to teach it with some new people, a new company perhaps. There's no guarantees, but I see a lot of possibility in this change. And if this change is not the thing, I feel like it's the thing that's going to lead to the thing. So I'm not sure if I can say it any louder or any clearer. To summarize, yes, you have some reservations from your past because you've had to work hard to get where you are. You've had to put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You didn't have guarantees. You grinded away. You've made the living. It's not quite enough. There are some opportunities facing you that I think you should take, and I think they have the possibility of really giving you a firm foundation for a long time. But it's going to be awkward and uncomfortable taking these next big steps in order to level up. And the word on your oracle card is faith. And I don't see, I think you're a person who has a lot of potential for faith and living from a faith-based place in your life that would bring you a lot more happiness. I see the 9 of Cups here. You are the Hierophant in this spread, and the Hierophant is a person of faith. They get their knowledge from and about the universe in a more structured way than some of the other cards in the tarot, like the Priestess. This is a structured kind of faith. So I hear myself saying that, and I'm almost like, you need to lean on your faith. Is there some kind of spirituality, some particular spirituality that you go to for comfort, for words of affirmation, for wisdom when you have to take a big leap of faith? I think you need to go and lean on that right now. You need to find it inside you. I almost feel like your work, this big leap of faith that you're taking, has a component of faith. Like maybe you work in a healing profession, or a spiritual profession, or a counseling profession, or something with religion. But you need to put your money where your mouth is. If that's something that you teach to others, you need to lean hard on it now, because your moment is now to take that leap. Now, the last thing that I want to say about all of this, and I'm feeling, wow, just like a rush of energy, and like I need to give you this message. So if the opportunity hasn't already come up, look in the next couple of weeks, in the next few months for that opportunity. Prepare yourself for it and jump on it. But please, please don't stay head down. Please, please notice if you've shut down in some way instead of open to yourself. If you feel yourself shutting down, you could miss this opportunity. And I think you'll be sad about it. I do believe that we don't miss what we're meant for. Sometimes we have to take more circuitous routes. But right now, you have the chance to timeline jump. So please take it.